This is Josh Reeves, and you're listening to the Mile High Church podcast. 2 great classes starting on our campus during February. Living Untethered, based on the work of Michael Singer with Reverend Jackie Harris, and inspired by Valerie Kaur's work, Spiritual Practices of Revolutionary Love with Reverend Casey Fight and our Diversity and Belonging Initiative. Check out more on milehighchurch.org. My message this morning is how to say I love you. You might think it's in the title. When I was 14 years old, I was watching TV, as 14-year-olds do, and there was a rerun of the Mike Douglas show. And the guests that morning were John Lennon and Yoko Ono. It's a really interesting interview talking about politics and the war and things going on at that time. And there was a commercial break, and it came back, and there was this segment, and it's John and Yoko, and they have a phone book. You remember those? And they're all about spreading the love. And so they just randomly start picking people from the phone book to call to say, I love you to. Ring, ring. Hello. Is this Dennis Smith? Yes. This is John Lennon, and I'm here with my wife, Yoko Ono, and I just called to tell you that I love you. Well, thank you, John Lennon. I guess I love you too. And it was very warm, but painfully awkward. 30 years later, 2 Mile Highers say I love you to me by taking me to see Sir Paul McCartney this past October in Denver. How many people were there? I know my friend Chris was. 83 years old. Plays for 3 hours. Life-affirming event. We all scream like 13-year-old girls in 1964. But Paul's sharing something intimate with these tens of thousands of people. He shares that he and John Lennon never said I love you to one another. John Lennon shot and killed in December of 1980. 3 weeks after I was born, my mom said it was one of the only times she ever saw my father cry. You're going to see me cry probably twice in this sermon this morning. And so I'm taking this information, I'm trying to correlate it with the Mike Douglas show. How come these 2 guys never said, I love you to one another? Was it because they were proper British gentlemen? Right? Was it a machismo thing? I remember several years where my dad and I didn't exchange I love yous. And that I love you hung around me like a neck, like a heavy weight. So much so that I would say my greatest fear at that time was saying I love you to my dad. I don't know why. The love was there. Maybe I was afraid he wouldn't say it back to me. Maybe I was afraid he would thought I was being too feminine. Or maybe I would say I love you. He would say I love you too, and we would weep in one another's arms. Now, John and Paul are the guys that wrote All You Need Is Love. So the question is what's going on here? They weren't just bandmates, they were best friends. They grew up together. John had it particularly tough. He was raised by his aunt. His dad left when he was a baby and never came back. He reconnected with his mother as a teenager, only to see her tragically killed by an off-duty police officer who was driving under the influence. He wrote a song once. I needed you, you never needed me. You left me, I never left you. Mama, don't go. Daddy, come home. But they still wrote, All You Need Is Love. So John, how can you say I love you to Dennis Smith from the phone book and not say it to Paul? And Paul, how come in your super cool new band, Wings, you can write a song called Silly Love Songs, the cheesiest song ever written, in which you just croon, I love you, over and over and over again? What's going on? Perhaps there are ways to say I love you without saying it. My favorite definition of love comes from James Thurber. He said, love is what you've been through with somebody. Love is what you've been through with somebody. I love that. It's shared experience. And in that sense, Paul and John had one of the best love affairs there ever was. We're all still benefiting from it. After John's death, Paul, and he shared this at the concert, wrote a song. And I'm going to paraphrase the lyrics. And if I said I really knew you well, what would your answer be if you were here today? Well, knowing you, you'd probably laugh and say that we were worlds apart if you were here today. But as for me, I still remember how it was before, and I am holding back the tears no more. I love you. My message to you today is to let your love not be a shadow, but the sun. Let your love not be a shadow, but the sun. I'm creating a class for you all. I expect to see you all there next month. It's called the Great American Myths. And it's about, even more so than religion, how the majority of our spiritual lives are shaped by The Wizard of Oz, It's a Wonderful Life, and The Princess Bride. That's what the whole class is about. And from the sacred text, my favorite novel, The Princess Bride by William Goldman, we get a hint about this idea of how to say, I love you. Our hero is the farm boy, Wesley, and our heroine is Princess Buttercup. She taunts him. Well, you never once said you loved me. That's all you need? Easy. I love you. Okay, want it louder? I love you. Spell it out, should I? I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Want it backward? You love I. You are teasing me now, aren't you? A little maybe. I've been saying it so long to you, you just wouldn't listen. Every time you said, farm boy, do this, you thought I was answering as you wish. But that's only because you were hearing wrong. I love you was what it was. But you never heard, and you never heard. It's never too late to say, I love you. Do you know why? Because love is always listening, and love never dies. The Princess Bride also tells us not even death can stop true love. It can just delay it for a little while. Love never ends, but it perhaps is like Anais Nin said. Love never dies a natural death. It dies because we don't know how to replenish its source. It dies of blindness, errors, and betrayals. It dies of illness and wounds. It dies of weariness, of witherings, of tarnishings. Don't let your love be a shadow, but allow it to be the sun. I shared with you a few weeks ago that my central teacher last year about love was loss. Walking through the experience of losing a parent, even though you know the truth, is the heartbreak of feeling like I couldn't love my father anymore because he's dead, because he's gone. Walking through the experience, you realize I don't love him any less. I love him more and more and more and more, still to this day. Losing my dad was simply a call to love him more and more. I knew that. I've done over 300 funerals in my ministerial career, and there's one thing I say in every one of them. Just because the person you love is gone from their physical form does not mean you can't love them anymore. Love them by doing things they love to do. Love them by loving the people that they love the most. Love them whenever you miss them, and maybe, just maybe, they're somewhere receiving that love and sending it right back to you. It was interesting learning that I could apply that same idea to divorce. That same idea. You walk through divorce and the form of the relationship is broken, but you realize the soul is just the same. What an awkward experience to realize that divorce isn't, I can't love you anymore. It's, I get to love you even more. Even more. I have to find creative ways to do it. But I get to love you even more. There are so many painful parts of divorce, and several of them it's not appropriate for me to share with you in this medium. But I think a central pain point for me was losing, my experience of losing the role of husband. It is the great honor of my life to be a dad. It is the great honor of my life to be a minister. And it was the great honor of my life to get to be a husband. And I knew the truth about me, but there's still that pesky experience thing we have to walk through. And that experience was, what? I don't get to be a husband anymore? I love being a husband. And the demerge is a fake creator God that we build and convince ourselves is real. It said to me, you screwed up. You messed that up. You don't get to be a husband anymore. And I felt embarrassed, ashamed, and hurt. But when we allow love to guide us through those experiences, I got to learn something. Not only was I getting to love people more, but in order to do so, I had to love myself more. You're still a husband, just like you still are a son, but guess who you're a husband to now? Yourself. You get to be a husband to you until you get yourself at a state to be a husband to someone else again. Ring, ring. John? Yes. Hey, it's me, Paul. I was just calling because I want you to know how much I love you. Thank you, Paul. I so appreciate your call, and I want you to know that I love you too. Don't let your love be a shadow. Let it be the sun. I know the talk's a little ethereal today, and so I really wanted to know, what do I want everyone to hear? So I wrote it down. I don't know if it makes sense or not, but let's throw it up there and we'll read through it. Do not let your love become a shadow, but the sun. Give love a voice through you. Resist allowing it to become a hidden part of you, for this love is your very identity. Saying I love you is vulnerable, not because it may be rejected, but because it is transformational. I love you. This means that I am more realized because of you. Loving you has made me who I am. I am more who I am because of who you are. Remember, speak your love, no matter if they can hear it, because love is always listening. Love is saying I love you. Love is what you've been through with somebody. Love is doing the right thing. Love is doing the right thing. Even when you've done the wrong thing, love is getting back to doing the right thing. Love is freedom, but it's also responsibility. When we're doing the right thing, we are a loving presence for countless numbers of people. Do you know that you, yes you, are loving countless numbers of people every day in how you show up, in how you nurture and take care of your own consciousness, and how you open the door for someone, and how you smile in line at the supermarket, all the time. You're not saying it, but you're showing it. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love the story of Bob Trumpy. I don't know if he was MAGA, but he was Trumpy. Sorry, I just couldn't help it. Bob Trumpy, a great NFL player for the Cincinnati Bengals, great sportscaster, hosted a long-time sportscast in Cincinnati. He was a Cincinnati Bengal as well. And on one fateful evening in 1983, the first call that came into his show wasn't from a sports fan. It was from a woman who was about to take her own life. She said her name was Sugar. She shared that she had a teenage son. She was clearly inebriated and shared that she had a problem with alcohol. She shared that her husband beat her up regularly. She shared that she didn't know how to escape or get out, and that her only choice available to her at this moment was to end her own life, and she needed to tell somebody. Bob's plan for the show didn't happen that day. He stayed on the line, live on the air, with Sugar for 2 hours. I'll share the news report from the next day. November 11th, 1983. Trumpy, who also serves as an NFL commentator for NBC, kept the woman on the line while station manager Randy Michaels called the city's suicide prevention line for instructions and help. He said Cincinnati Bell was unable to trace the call because the woman called in one of the station's buffer lines, used for contest calls. Trumpy spent more than 2 hours trying to get the woman and later her son to reveal their address and phone number. Finally, at about 8:30 p.m. Eastern, Sugar's son revealed their address. The announcer talked with them for several more minutes before Michaels took him off the air. Trumpy then embraced his wife, who had arrived at the station, and sobbed. Don't let your love be a shadow, but the sun. Love is doing the right thing over and over and over again, and you will fall down and you will make mistakes. Get back to doing the right thing, and you will be saying, I love you to whoever you're around. As ministers, we talk to people from time to time who ask the question, what do I say to this person I care about who just lost the person they love the most? What do I say to this person who is facing a terminal illness? The answer, very clear, it doesn't matter what you say. Just be there. In fact, the person is going to be in such a fog that they're not even going to remember anything you say, so why say anything at all? But they will remember that you were there for them. And that will make all the difference in the world. Or as a beautiful congregant shared with me a couple years ago, Dr. Patty's here, she said the most meaningful thing is Dr. Patty called me one day and said, I just called to cry with you. That was the most loving thing that could be done for her in that moment. We have that ability to do the right thing and to be there. But it's another thing to remember about how to say, I love you. You can say, I love you. You can share experience. You can do the right thing. But love is also risk. Love is also risk. What are we risking? Simply our fear about our own becoming. When we're willing to risk and reveal love, we become who we are, which means we are no longer who we were, but who we have now shown up to be. I used to live in Seal Beach, California. I lived right on the beach until that no-good Roger Teal called me and said that your home is in Denver, Colorado. Ring, ring. Hey, Roger, this is Josh. I'm sorry I called you no good, and I love you. Thank you. Come on. But every week, I'd go into the ocean, and Heraclitus was right. There's no such thing as stepping into the same river or ocean twice. It's this beautiful experience. It's different every time. And I didn't know until I moved here a powerful story that had happened earlier just between the pier of Seal Beach and the jetty at Long Beach. An incredible young woman by the name of Lynn Cox. She was 17 years old and already a champion long-distance swimmer. She would go each morning to do a long-distance swim from the pier to the jetty every morning before the sun rose. And on this particular morning, something was different. I got in the water in the very early morning before the sun had risen, and the water was pitch black. I started swimming, and I felt the water hollowing out around me and felt like something really big was swimming below. This doesn't sound like love. That sounds pretty terrifying. So she's swimming and she's feeling this presence there, and she gets closer to the pier where she has a friend. It's an older gentleman who's out there every morning, and they know each other, and he's yelling at her. He's trying to get her attention. There's a baby whale beneath you. And what he's telling her, you have to keep swimming. The baby has been lost from his mother, and he is now following you. And if you swim to the shore, that whale is going to beach, its lungs are going to collapse, and he's going to die. So Lynn kept swimming and swimming. 2 hours have gone by. The baby whale was 15 feet away, but it's growing closer and closer to her now. We were sort of side by side, or he was right underneath me, or very, very close. And at one point, he just rolled over and looked right at me. And it was just the most amazing thing in the world, because I felt like he sees me and I see him and we're together. It was just amazing. I told him he'd be okay and that things will work out and we'll find his mother. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, he can't understand my words, but maybe he'll understand the feeling or the intention. Maybe you have someone in your life who isn't capable of understanding your words right now. But perhaps there's that part of them that can feel your heart and your intention. Lynn kept swimming as calls began to go to boats all around the ocean. Keep your eyes out for the mother whale. She would swim for over 5 hours, and she began to realize that her own well-being and health were at risk. And then Mama came. Not Lynn's mama, baby whale's mama. When she actually swam over to us, she came over very, very slowly and didn't come really close to me initially. But a few minutes later, she came right next to me. And you know, when a mother whale comes next to you, it's like a bus pulling up beside you. And I backed away some because I was afraid. I mean, the animal's 45 feet long. And to be in the water with something so huge is frightening, because just one push of her fin or anything, I could be hurt. So I tried to tell myself, just be calm. Just float on the water. And if she doesn't want you around, you will know that very quickly. So I saw them together. And it was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life, to see the mother and baby reunited. I mean, for 5 hours, we'd been out there swimming together. And she came over, she approached me, and she was just so close that I thought, I'm going to touch her too. I'm just going to do it, because I feel like a part of this whole thing. And I touched her, and I could feel that she felt my hand on her. And it was amazing, because she was so big. And how does that whale express happiness? But I felt that she was happy. And then a few minutes later, they swam off. And it was really sad. It was like this was the moment you've been trying for the last 5 hours, but now that baby was gone. This is a story about a young woman named Lynn Cox who saved the life of a baby whale. But it's also the story of a baby whale who saved the life of Lynn Cox. Love and loving is like reaching out to touch a 45-foot whale. It demands risk. It demands the knowing that who you once were isn't who you are now. It's not the risk, again, of being rejected. It's the risk of transformation. Don't let your love be a shadow, but the sun. Love is what you go through with everybody. Love is doing the right thing, even after you've done the wrong thing, over and over again. Love is risk. Doesn't have to be monumental. It can just be little bit. Lastly, I love you. Do you want to hear it louder? I love you. Do you want me to spell it out for you? Yes. I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Do you want it backwards? You love I. As we invite thank you. Because we love her so much, I'm going to have Geraldine pray us out. I'm going to invite our practitioners to stand who are here to love you with affirmative prayer after the service today.
So in this very precious, sacred moment, we all just settle in. We settle into God, the power, the presence, the oneness of life that is everywhere in everything in everyone, and it is love. The very essence of you and me is the vastness of love, the changing power of love, the depth of love, the realness of love, the vulnerability of love. I know this essence of who you are, this God truth, not only moves in you, in your life, in all that is, it moves out from you into the world. It's the love that transforms all that is, that makes the world a richer, better place. So today, each of us stands in love and carries it out through our day in ways that touch the world, that then touches another. The ripple effect is profound. So I give thanks in this moment for the love of each of you, for the love of God that flows so beautifully in everyone and everything. I give thanks for the courage each of us has to take a stand for love, to know that in that we do impact the world. So I give thanks for you. I give thanks for Mile High Church. I give thanks for this place to be a beacon of light. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, life. And with that, we let go in love, in peace, and in trust. And so it is.
Thanks for listening to the Mile High Church podcast. This podcast is made possible by the generous contributions from listeners like you. To make a donation, please visit milehighchurch.org.